administration has talked about its own plans to reduce inflation, which include drill, baby, drill. Increasing the amount of fossil fuels that we're producing and presumably using. Is that really a way to reduce inflation? Is that going to have a real effect?
I think there are two aspects to inflation. One is the amount that we calculate, or the number that we calculate, and the other is the perception of inflation.
Sure.
And the perception of inflation is important not only politically but also in our economic models. They're all about inflation expectations. And one of the key things that seems to move people's inflation expectations is gasoline prices, because people are driving around. It's a very salient price. You see it all the time. You're filling up your tank, and so it's a very relevant price. So in terms of both perception, well, particularly perception, but to some extent reality, energy prices are important, and so if the energy prices can come down, that will help certainly the perception of inflation and make it easier for inflation expectations to stay well anchored. There's a question about whether the drill baby drill will actually have that much of an impact. I mean, can you get that much more investment in shale and other energy production so quickly? You also would likely need cooperation from other countries around the world, particularly Saudi Arabia. At least so far, we haven't heard much cooperation there. That'll again go back to part of the art of the deal of negotiating a whole variety of things with in the Middle East. So it's not just drill baby drill, but it is something that does affect perceptions importantly. Interestingly, usually when you ask people what inflation is, they report numbers that are dramatically higher than the actual inflation rate, and that affects how much they're going to ask for in terms of wage increases, how much they're going to expect or tolerate in terms of other price increases. So perception is very important when it comes to Fed policy. And as I said, that's kind of fundamental to the models that we use at University of Chicago and elsewhere to think about Fed policy.